Hi, welcome to the Pearls and Polish Podcast, episode 68. I'm your host, Rachel, coming to you from just outside Sacramento, California. If you're a new viewer, welcome, and if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. This is my corner of the internet where I talk about knitting, crochet, and whatever crafty things we're up to. So, we'll start the episode with where you can find me. I am on Instagram and Ravelry, along with my email down below. All that's in the description, along with all the links to the different makers, designers, yarn dyers, and anyone else I mentioned in today's episode. So make sure you check those out. We'll start today's episode with finished objects. I have one. I showed these last week. These are my socks using Ontheround. The colorway is called Rebel, and this is on her Nimble sock base. I don't have my sock blockers. They're in the other room and my husband is napping and I like him too much to wake him up for sock blockers. So we'll just have to kind of old school it and just hold it. But I literally just cast these off, sewed in my ends, updated all of my notes, and was too excited to sit there and block them. I wanted to show you today. So these socks I started 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, when I was in North Carolina for a work conference. And they kind of got pushed around a little bit. I wanted to finish the blanket from last week's episode. So they had kind of a break, but they are complete. They are done, and I am so excited. This pattern is one that I wrote myself. It is a ribbed sock. However, I wanted something rib plus. So I'm finishing up all my notes on the pattern, and I've already had one person offer to test knit it for me. So that will be exciting, but it should be coming out soon. One thing I did want to talk about these socks is the nature of hand-dyed yarn. I love hand-dyed yarn. I make the choice to purchase most of my yarn as hand-dyed yarn. I love supporting small businesses. I love supporting other women who a lot of times are women with families. And so that is something that is important to me. So I choose to save a little more and, buy yarn like that. But again, that is a personal choice. This yarn is dyed, like I said, by Rachel of Ontheround, and she's in Maine. She has beautiful colors, and I have had this skein in my stash for a bit. Rebel is I want to say it's kind of like a yellowy base. I'll show you the bottom of the foot because that will show a little more. But it's kind of a creamy yellow base and it has speckles. However, this sock was the first one I started, and this end of the skein, the speckles were very light, very muted, which I love. However, I like more speckles, and that's just a personal choice. I like bright, loud colors for my socks, not necessarily for other things that I wear, but for my socks, I love all the colors. And some of the pictures that Rachel had on her website of Rebel showed some brighter colors. The second half of the skein, which is what I used to make the second sock, ended up being more, just more speckles. The colors were brighter, more of them, and I loved it. And you can kind of tell here at the cuff, which is where I started my sock, they're there, but they're slightly muted. And then as you work down and you get towards the bottom, they just get brighter and louder. And I love that. I love how you can get so much variety within one skein from a hand-dyed yarn. So love these so much. Rachel does have a skein called Rebel, and it is all the same colors that she uses in this, but more. So I really want to get one of those skeins. She just did a cowl. I don't even remember what it's called, but I'll put a picture up. But she did this cowl with Rebel, and I think the color was named Fog. And I was like, oh, I want one of those. So I think after I'm done with recording and editing this video, I'm gonna go order some of that because I love cowls. I probably don't make as many as I should or could, but I think they're beautiful. And I really love this kind of texture that the designer has. I'll link the designer as well. And it's all mosaic knitting, which is just kind of like slipping stitches, and it's really fun. So definitely am going to go check that out. You should check it out too. But that is my first and only finished object for this episode. So I will get these washed and blocked, and then we'll have the pattern coming out soon. So make sure you keep an eye out for that. Moving into whips, works in progress. I'm still working on my It's Bred sweater. It's been a minute or two since I've done a garment, and I really love making garments. However, it's slow, and I've gotten very used to socks, which are quick. This is taking a bit of time, and I have to keep reminding myself, like, the garment is a process. It is a process. It's not a race. It is a process, and that's okay. But I kind of want to be done so I can move on to the next thing. But anyways, I have been working on this sweater. I am, let's see, where am I? So we're getting there. This is an oversized, that's kind of crooked. I think we're more, I don't want to lose my stitches. There, that's the middle. So this is an oversized sweater. It does have 10 inches of positive ease. And when we see positive ease, that means that it's 10 inches larger than if it was like a tank top that was skin tight. And when I first started knitting, I was like, oh, 10 inches positive ease, that's so much. But it's not 10 inches on each side. It's 10 inches all the way around. So really, that's like 2.5 inches on one side, 2.5 inches on the other side, 2.5 inches on the side of the back, 2.5 inches on the side of the other side of the back. So really 10 inches is not a lot. It's not astronomical. So if you don't know much about positive ease, there you go. For something like socks, you want to have negative ease. So you want it to be slightly tighter than, I don't want to say skin tight, but like you want it to be real snug because it is a sock and it's going to be meeting friction on your feet. So you want it to fit really well. This is designed to be on the looser side. So that is moving along. I think I have like another 2 or 3 inches to go, and then I can split for sleeves. And then because this is top down, I started at the cuff and I'm working my way up. The body, like the body front and the body back, are knit in the flat. So you just go back and forth and back and forth. And then you seam it all together with the sleeves, and then you're done. So it is a faster knit. The yarn is worsted, so it's thicker. The needles are a size, I want to say like a size 8, size 9. So the needles are thicker. So your stitches are bigger, which means you can use less stitches, more yarn, which goes quickly. So I keep trying to remind myself, this is fine. It's the way it's supposed to be. We're doing fine. But sometimes I want that instant gratification. Speaking of instant gratification, I already have my next project picked out. I'll talk about this in life updates, but I was out for like 24 hours and I was concerned that I was going to finish my Rebel socks while I was away from home and I wouldn't have another project to work on. And so I went back and forth about, do I start a new project and just work on that and then I will pick up my Rebel socks when I get back? Do I bring my Rebel socks and finish those and bring a backup project? Do I just trust myself and just work on my Rebel socks? So what I ended up doing was bringing one of my sock tubes. I only have 2 left, which means it's probably time to send out some more sock yarn to get cranked into tubes. I really do enjoy having these around because they they are fast. You just have to put in your heels, toes, and cuffs, and you have a pair of socks, which is great for gift knitting. It's great for those little, instant gratification moments. If you are between big projects, very easy to do. So I did grab this one from Pasley Knits. So this was the first skein that I bought from Coley. Gosh, 2020, 2021, somewhere around there. Actually, what happened was I saw someone shared that she was going to do Yarn Club for the Gods, and I loved the colorway so much, so I immediately signed up. But I also wanted to buy something first, and so I bought one of her in-stock skeins, and this one is called Pasley Island. There's an actual island named Pasley that her family goes and visits, or I don't know how that works out, but this island means something to Coley, and so she had done this colorway, and I loved it. I bought it. I had it cranked out. So it's time to work it up. So I'm going to put my heels, toes, and cuffs on this, which only takes me a day or two. It doesn't take me long to do that. And then I'll have a whole new pair of socks and one less skein in my stash. So that will be worked on. I'll probably start that tomorrow. I did do kind of the prep work. So with tube socks, it's all about the prep work. I like to use as much of my skein as possible. I know there are some people who do sock tubes that like putting in contrasting heel, toes, and cuffs, or when they have their sock cranked out, they ask for so many grams to be held back to be able to put in their heels, toes, and cuffs. I actually cut my skein and I will rip back a chunk and then re-knit that up as my cuff. Then I go in and I cut in my heel, and I'll use the end of the tube to put in my heel, and then I wind back to put my foot in, to put the toe in my sock, and then whatever's left in that little yarn ball is what I have left. That's been the system that's worked best for me. I know lots of people do it different ways, but that's what I like to do. So I am looking forward to working this up and having these done very soon. So the last thing I've been working on are my Hexies of the month, or month of Hexies, I think is what I called it. So I am doing these little Hexies, and this is the Finley Hexie by Nautilus Crochet, something like that. It'll be linked down below. But last year I had subscribed to RowOne minis, and I loved the subscription. I made Hexies with all the yarn that I got. So you would get 10 gram minis, and they come wrapped up like this. You could pull from the middle or from the outside. So I would hold it double, so I'd get a DK weight yarn, and I'd crochet up a Hexie and have about 4 grams left over. And I was loving it, and it was great. And then December hit, and I kind of left off. So I have the month of December to do. I also have all of my leftovers from my Woolberry Advent. So I have been doing a Hexie a day. On the weekends, either Saturday or Sunday, I need to do 2 Hexies. And the idea is to do all 24 colors from my Woolberry Advent, plus the 10 colors from December's RowOne. Finish all those up, and then put my blanket together. So the month of Hexies is going well. This one was Saturdays. I need to take a picture of that, but this is from the Woolberry Advent. This one was today's, and then I need to do this one for today. So the December RowOne mini dyer is called Holly Dye Works, and this particular color is called Innocence, which I think is just white, which I love. So I need to finish this one. I need to take pictures, and then I put them in the bag, and then I will figure out what order I want to put them all in, and then put them all together. The hook that I'm using is a US 7 4.5 millimeters. So it's a fairly large hook, I would say. They work up really fast. I'm probably not even 15 minutes. I've done enough of them where it's kind of muscle memory at this point. But great way to use up scraps. These are all DK weight, so they are a little thicker, but they don't use up a ton of yarn. So if you have little bits and pieces, this would be a great scrap project. So check that out. So for reading and watching, I am still reading Legendborn by Tracy Deonn, and then I am still watching Bones on Disney+. I do need to start my book club book because that's going to come up pretty quickly. So I may pause Legendborn so I can read my book club book. We're doing Go Call a Watchman by Harper Lee because book club is going to come up pretty soon. So life updates. I worked this week. I got to sub in a couple classrooms this week. And then Friday night, I hopped in a plane, went down to see my sister in Southern California. Stayed up way too late, got up the next morning, got ready, went out to breakfast, went to a Taekwondo tournament, competed, did really well, went back to her place, packed up my stuff, and got back on a plane and came home. It was a very fast trip, but I was there for this tournament. We had done our sister trip in February. She was up in March for a family gathering, so it didn't feel like I missed out on time with her, but I always want more time with my sister. But it was really great to be able to do that very quickly. So up next is finalizing my first pattern. I'm thinking about writing a pattern with just how I do my vanilla socks. So just heel flap and gusset, cuff down, what kind of toe I put in. I really like knowing kind of what everyone's baseline is for their vanilla sock. So I figured I would write mine down and share that as well. And then I'm already thinking of a pattern for a second pair of socks. So that one's still floating around. Haven't completely committed to it yet, but I will have my new pattern coming out soon, and then I'll probably do my vanilla sock pattern as well. So keep an eye out for those. I will definitely announce those here on the channel when that happens. And then, of course, we have to wrap up March and kick off April. So for March, I finished the month with 88 skeins in my stash. I only track skeins. I don't track grams because I will have lots and lots of grams. So I only track the skeins that come in and the skeins that go out. So for February, I had 89 skeins. March, I had 88. So one less. For the month of April, I'd like to finish this sweater, and then I'm not really sure after that. I'm not sure if I want to cast on another pair of socks. I do have some linen and cotton blend yarns for kind of summer tops, so thinking about maybe starting some of those. I don't know. I'm not sure. We'll see. I need to go look at my stash and really think about what I want to complete next, but I'm kind of leaning towards one of those summery tops. We'll see. And then April, we got to kick off April with a giveaway. So for the whole year of 2025, I'm giving away a skein once a month at the beginning of the month, just for my way of saying thank you and for joining me and for watching the channel. So all you need to do to be entered into this giveaway is to put a comment in the comments below, obviously. How do you knit your socks? Are you team cuff down? Are you team toe up? What kind of heel do you like? Do you put in heel flap and gusset, short rows, fleagle heels, something else I haven't tried yet? I would love to know. So that comment in the comments below will enter you in to win a skein of Woolberry's Grapefruit Fizz. I'm going to put a picture in here. This is one of the collective colors from last year, and I got it on the tweed base, and I love it so much. But since it's starting to warm up here in California, it seemed like a good pick to set off spring and the warm weather. So make sure you enter your comment in down below, and I will announce the winner next week. All right, that's what I've got for today's episode. Thank you so much for spending a bit of time with me, and I will see you guys next time.